In 1975, Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run changed both the face of rock music and his career with its 39 minutes and 26 seconds of pure brilliance. Do you know what hasn't changed much since 1975? The classroom experience. In the 42 years since the release of that album, Bruce has continued to push the limits of rock and roll storytelling. Meanwhile, very few innovations have come to the classroom lecture. In all that time, all we've done is replace transparency slides with PowerPoint and chalkboards with whiteboards. Look, I'm a student, and I'm a fan of learning. And as Bruce would say, I've got a hungry heart for a more enriching and meaningful educational experience. And so my team decided to do something about it. A truly immersive system right here in your mobile device that does more than just track student participation, but actually provides meaningful rewards for those who take interactive learning to the next level. UniClick, developed by a team of 5 students, will extend the learning environment beyond the classroom. This way, learning doesn't remain boxed within the 4 walls of a lecture hall. It can be as dynamic as many other aspects of our connected lives. Right now, if a student is struggling and wants to seek help, their only recourse is to post an SOS message online and hope that another student responds out of the goodness of their heart. In a UniClick classroom, we'll foster connectedness via gamification. Competition, points, badges, rewards. Students can be, perhaps, organized into teams and compete by responding to other students' challenges. They can go one-on-one against their friends or someone from class they don't even know. Or they can play against the app directly. Instructors will be able to harness gamification to reward high-scoring students with access to industry experts and otherwise pricey materials that help further extend their knowledge and better prepare them for life after graduation. Our market consists of 20 million college students and 5,000 colleges and universities in the US alone, not even including K-12 and international. So what we're going to do with our pricing model is charge a yearly subscription fee to the institution for software licensing and support proportional to its number of users. So if a school has, say, 1,000 users, we'll charge them $10,000 as our annual fee. In the first 2 years, we're going to implement at 100 institutions. From software licensing and support alone, if those institutions average 1,000 users each, we'll be producing $1 million of revenue in the first 2 years. And that doesn't even include advertising revenue, like textbook sales and private tutoring, for example. So I presented a pretty aggressive growth schedule. We have development capabilities in-house, but somebody's got to get out there and sell this thing, and my team's already volunteered me. And that's going to take some money to get out there and sell this to colleges and universities around the country. So we're seeking an investment of $30,000 to make that dream a reality. We're going to be living at home and eating ramen until this thing gets off the ground. So you know that your money is going directly to sales and marketing. You're going to hear some pretty lofty and, quite frankly, pretty awesome ideas tonight. But I guarantee you that everyone here has felt the frustration of a poorly run class. Look, our glory days are ahead of us, folks. And unlike our competitors, our time in the classroom is still fresh in our minds. We know what helps students learn and are sympathetic to the difficulty of keeping modern students engaged. And as students first, we're asking the pressing question, why can't learning be fun? With UniClick, it can, and it will. Thank you.
Judges.
I was wondering if you could talk about the competition in the market. Are universities doing this themselves, or are there anybody else out there doing something similar to this?
So the idea for our project came from, here we use little clicker devices. They're kind of very simple, almost like a little pocket calculator, and you answer very simple A, B, C, D kind of questions to your professor. These are pretty expensive devices for what they do, and they're pretty dumb as far as what you can do with a smartphone or your computer nowadays, any sort of mobile device. So right off the bat, we're trying to replace that. And we're also trying to make a better system that offers discussion in class and really fosters connectivity with the gamification aspect. We want to make a smarter version of these clickers.
Yeah, have you actually prototyped this with any particular classroom content and had any users actually try your system?
So we don't have a hard prototype yet. We have a lot of design mock-ups, and we've spoken to professors and students in general. And everybody seems hungry for a product like this. Nobody's used these clickers and said, "Oh yeah, that really made my class better."
How general is that? So it's one setup that fits any classroom, or are you gonna need to do customization for every topic or classroom type?
So it'd be kind of similar to what we use here is Canvas. So it's just a web framework for setting up classes, except for it's very focused on this discussion and gamification aspect. We also have an idea that we'd be allowing professors to crowdsource work. So say for a very common class like Calc 1, right? It's pretty much the same class everywhere. You could download templates and materials for that class and already start from the ground up, not having to build materials for whatever. if that answers your question.
Roman, I think you have the most recent experience with school. You get the final question. No offense to the other judges.
Yeah, we actually had those clickers, so I guess you guys still have them, right?
We, as far as we know, I mean, we had them when we were freshmen. I assume they still use them. As far as we know, they still use them.
Are there any issues, as you're saying, as far as the market? You can bring it out to all the students, right? But if they don't use them or...
Right, I mean, at the end of the day, the idea is that it's at worst case scenario, it does the same thing the existing clickers do. The professors require you to take it, require you to answer. Like, that's the absolute worst case scenario. But at least you don't have to pay $50 for a clicker and it's in your smartphone. Probably. I mean, it'd be used the same way as a clicker is used now. But it can do a lot more, just like using Canvas is required for your classes.
Thank you very much. Good job.